Audit project management means running an audit like a project, with clear steps and good coordination. The first step is plan the audit engagement. This means understanding what the audit will cover, setting goals, timelines, and needed resources. For example, before starting an IT security audit, the team decides which systems to review and when. Next, build the audit plan. Here, we outline the detailed steps, what to test, who will test it, and how to collect evidence. For instance, we may plan to check password policies, system access logs, and backup processes. Then, we execute the plan. This is where the real audit work happens, gathering data, testing controls, and identifying issues. For example, the auditor tests if users who left the company still have access to the system. Finally, we monitor project activity. The audit manager tracks progress, ensures deadlines are met, and manages any challenges. For instance, if system access is delayed, the manager adjusts the schedule or requests support. Good project management keeps the audit organized, on time, and ensures reliable results. When performing an audit, it's important to understand the difference between audit objectives and control objectives, because they guide two different sides of assurance work. Audit objectives are what the auditor aims to achieve. They help make sure the audit is done properly and that all important areas are reviewed. For example, if we're auditing an online banking system, an audit objective might be to check whether customers' transactions are secure and processed accurately. Another audit objective could be to confirm that changes made to the system are properly approved and tested before going live. Control objectives, on the other hand, are set by management. They describe what management wants to achieve through internal controls. In other words, what good control looks like. For instance, in a payroll system, management's control objective might be to make sure salaries are paid only to active employees and calculated correctly. To make this clearer, imagine a bank. The control objective is to prevent unauthorized access to customer accounts. The audit objective is to check if the controls that achieve that, such as password policies, firewalls, or user access reviews, actually work as intended. So, while management focuses on building strong controls, the auditor focuses on testing and confirming that those controls are effective and reliable. In short, control objectives define what should happen right, and audit objectives confirm whether it actually does. The audit planning phase is the first and most important part of any audit. It helps the auditor prepare properly before the actual testing begins. Determine audit subject. This means deciding what area or process will be audited. Example: the auditor may choose to review the company's payroll system or IT security controls. Define audit objective. The auditor sets the goal of the audit, what they want to find out. Example: the objective might be to check whether only valid employees are paid or if access to financial systems is properly controlled. Set audit scope. This defines how deep or wide the audit will go, the period, locations, and systems included. Example: the audit could cover payroll transactions for the past 1 year across all company branches. Perform pre-audit planning. The auditor gathers background information about the area to be audited, reviews previous reports, and identifies key risks. Example: before auditing IT operations, the auditor may review system architecture and past audit findings to understand problem areas. Determine procedures. The auditor decides which tests and methods to use to collect evidence. Example: using data analytics to detect duplicate payments or checking user access logs for unusual activities. By following these steps, the auditor ensures the audit is focused, efficient, and provides valuable findings. The fieldwork and documentation phase is where the auditor actually performs the audit work and gathers evidence to support findings. Acquire data. The auditor collects information needed to test controls or verify processes. Example: downloading payroll records or system access logs to check for errors or unusual activities. Test controls. The auditor checks if the controls are working as intended. Example: Testing if only authorized users can approve online payments or if password policies are enforced. Issue discovery and validation. Any problems or weaknesses found are analyzed and confirmed with the process owners to ensure accuracy. Example: if duplicate vendor payments are discovered, the auditor discusses with the finance manager to confirm if it's a real issue or a data error. Document results. The auditor records all procedures, findings, and evidence to support conclusions. Example: writing work papers that include screenshots, test results, and notes from interviews. This phase provides the evidence base for the audit report and ensures all findings are well supported and traceable. The reporting phase is when the auditor communicates the results of the audit clearly and accurately to management and other stakeholders. Gather report requirements. The auditor identifies who needs the report, what format they prefer, and what key issues must be highlighted. Example: management may want a summary of high-risk findings, while the IT team needs detailed technical issues. Draft report. The auditor prepares a draft report showing the findings, risks, and recommendations for improvement. Example: reporting that user accounts were not promptly deactivated after staff left the company, and recommending stronger access control procedures. Issue report. After review and management feedback, the final report is issued to stakeholders. Example: sending the final report to the audit committee, including agreed timelines for corrective actions. Follow-up. The auditor later checks whether management has implemented the agreed recommendations. Example: rechecking after 3 months to confirm that terminated user accounts have been disabled. This phase ensures audit results are communicated, understood, and acted upon, helping the organization strengthen its controls and reduce risks. An audit program is a detailed plan that guides auditors through every step of the audit process. It serves as a roadmap, ensuring the audit is done in a consistent, thorough, and efficient way. It helps auditors know what to do, how to do it, and when to do it, so that the audit results are reliable and useful to management. An audit program includes several important components. Objectives. These define what the audit aims to achieve. Example: to confirm that financial transactions in the payroll system are processed accurately and in compliance with company policy. Scope. This explains the boundaries of the audit, what will be reviewed and what will not. Example: the payroll system for the Lagos branch from January to June 2025. Criteria. These are the rules, policies, or standards against which the auditor evaluates performance. Example: company HR policies, labor laws, or international accounting standards. Methodology. This describes how the audit will be carried out and what techniques will be used to collect evidence. Example: reviewing system access logs, interviewing staff, observing operations, and performing data analysis. Timing. This specifies the audit schedule, when each activity will take place. Example: planning in February, fieldwork in March, and reporting in April. Responsibilities. This clarifies who will handle different audit tasks. Example: the lead auditor manages testing while another team member documents evidence. Reporting. This defines how and when the results will be shared with management. Example: a formal audit report summarizing findings, conclusions, and recommendations for improvement. In real life, for instance, during an IT audit of an online banking system, the audit program would outline how access rights are tested, how transaction logs are reviewed, and how incidents are verified. By following a structured audit program, auditors maintain consistency, avoid missing important steps, and ensure that management receives accurate and actionable insights to improve business processes. Audit work papers are the notes, evidence, and documents an auditor gathers during an audit. They show exactly what was checked, how it was tested, what evidence was found, and what conclusions were reached. Think of them as the audit's evidence file that supports every statement in the final audit report. Work papers include planning documents, test results, screenshots, reports, emails, and summaries of interviews. They help auditors remember what they did, Allow supervisors to review the work and make future audits easier because the next team can understand the past findings quickly. Let us look at some real-life scenarios. Real-life example 1. Audit access review. An IS auditor checks who can access the payroll system. The work papers will include a list of all active users from the system, screenshots showing access rights for a few samples, notes from the HR manager confirming that X staff were removed, a conclusion that 2 inactive users still have access, with evidence attached. Real-life example 2, data backup audit. The auditor verifies that backups are done daily. The work papers include backup schedules exported from the system, logs showing successful backups, interviews with the IT admin, a note saying, backups failed on 3 days due to power outage, corrective action planned. Why it matters. Work papers prove that the audit was done properly and professionally. They also protect the auditor if questions arise later and help ensure findings are clear, justified, and verifiable. In short, audit work papers tell the story of the audit, from what was planned to what was discovered, providing transparency, accountability, and confidence in the audit results. During normal audit work, an IS auditor may find signs that suggest fraud, like unusual transactions, fake records, or system access abuse. The auditor's job is not to accuse anyone, but to identify red flags and report them to the right people for investigation. For example, while reviewing payroll data, an auditor might notice payments going to ghost employees or duplicate bank accounts. After confirming the pattern, the IS auditor should report this to management, internal audit, or a fraud investigation team, not handle the investigation alone. Another real case could be during a system access review, where the auditor discovers that a former employee still has system access and used it to approve vendor payments. This could indicate fraud or control failure, and the IS auditor should document the evidence and alert appropriate authorities immediately. IS auditors should also understand the legal side of fraud. Some laws require organizations to have fraud detection measures, like audit trails, access controls, and mandatory reporting when fraud is suspected. For instance, in financial institutions, failing to report fraud could lead to penalties or regulatory action. In terms of fraud prevention, auditors help by recommending strong internal controls such as segregation of duties, user access restrictions, and regular reconciliations. These measures make it harder for fraud to occur or go unnoticed. In summary, an IS auditor's role in fraud detection is to identify red flags during normal audit work, evaluate the situation carefully, report suspicions promptly to the right authority, and promote strong controls to prevent future fraud. Agile auditing uses the principles of agile project management to make audits more flexible, collaborative, and faster. Instead of waiting until the end of the year to issue one big report, the audit team works in short cycles called sprints, usually lasting 2 to 4 weeks. Each sprint focuses on a small, high-risk area and delivers quick, meaningful results. For example, in a bank's IT audit, instead of auditing the entire online banking system at once, the team may first review user access controls in one sprint, give quick feedback, and then move on to transaction security in the next sprint. This allows management to fix problems immediately, rather than waiting months for the final audit report. Agile auditing also promotes regular collaboration. Auditors meet frequently with management, system owners, and developers to discuss risks, findings, and progress. This ensures that everyone stays aligned and the audit remains relevant even as business priorities change. In a software development company, for instance, auditors may attend project stand-up meetings to understand new system updates and assess related risks in real time. This makes the audit process transparent and responsive to fast-moving environments. The Agile audit approach helps organizations detect and fix issues early, stay adaptable as risks evolve, improve communication between auditors and management, and deliver continuous value rather than a one-time report. In summary, agile audits are flexible, fast, and focused on adding value, helping organizations stay ahead of risks in today's changing world. Agile audits are designed to make the audit process faster, more flexible, and better aligned with changing business needs. First, there's reduced end-to-end planning. Instead of spending months creating a detailed audit plan that might become outdated, auditors plan just enough to start quickly and adjust as they go. Example: in a telecom company, the audit team may start reviewing data privacy controls right away instead of waiting for a full-year plan to be approved. Next is streamlined audit engagements. Agile audits break big projects into smaller, focused sprints. This makes the process easier to manage and ensures steady progress. Example: an auditor might review one module of an ERP system, like payroll, before moving to procurement. Direct customer collaboration means auditors work closely with process owners and management throughout the audit. This promotes open communication and faster issue resolution. Example: in a bank, auditors regularly meet with the IT security manager to clarify findings and agree on quick fixes. With flexible audit scope, auditors can easily adjust the areas they focus on as new risks appear. Example: if a new cybersecurity threat emerges mid-audit, the team can quickly shift focus to review related systems. Real-time assurance allows management to receive insights and recommendations during the audit, not months later. Example: when an auditor finds weak password controls, they share the issue immediately so IT can fix it the same week. Finally, frequent audit plan updates keep the audit program current and relevant. Example: after each sprint, the audit team reviews what was learned and updates the next steps based on changing risks. In short, agile audits keep the audit process adaptive, fast, and value-driven, ensuring risks are managed in real time while supporting business agility.